up, Blockchain Nation? What up, YouTube? So, what is Lightning? What's Lightning Network, and what is it all about, and why is it important in what's going on in the crypto space? So, as you know, Bitcoin is a wonderful concept. It was the mother, or the creator, or the starter, or the beginner, or the beginning of this whole crypto craze. Bitcoin is a wonderful concept. Bitcoin allows us to make payments to anyone, anywhere around the world without the need of a centralized institution or any central authority. It's a noble concept. One of the challenges with Bitcoin, a couple of challenges with Bitcoin is that it's called a trilemma. Bitcoin is decentralized, it's secure, but it doesn't scale. So it seems as if in this whole crypto space, when you find a concept or an application or an idea that is decentralized and scalable, it's not secure. Or it's secure and scalable, but it's not decentralized, But so one challenge with Bitcoin is that it does only about 7 transactions per second. So every single transaction that happens on the Bitcoin network, is propagated on the entire network. And you have miners around who take all those transactions out of a transactional pool, put it in a block, and try to put it onto the blockchain. The first miner to do that gets a block reward. I have some videos on this. I'll put some links below. So that whole concept and that whole process takes time. Now it becomes even more interesting when there is a high demand for Bitcoin. So I remember 2017 when the price of Bitcoin went from January 2017, it was about $1,900 ish. By November 2017, it was $20,000 for Bitcoin. The whole world went crazy. Everybody was buying Bitcoin. I remember I tried to sell Bitcoin to a friend, and it took a whole day for him to receive the funds, which is insane. And so the challenge with Bitcoin is when things like that happen, the network slows down, and the transactions that are faster or that get processed are transactions that involve a huge fee. So when the transaction has a higher fee attached to it, miners are encouraged to actually mine those transactions and leave the other transactions behind. Anyways, that's different from traditional financial institutions or traditional payment systems, because Bitcoin is a currency and at the same time is a payment network. Now you have payment networks out there like Visa and MasterCard that are very, 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 very fast. Visa does about 65,000 transactions per second, I believe, at the time I'm recording this video, but Bitcoin only does about, or per minute, I think, Bitcoin does only about 7 transactions, which is really, really, really terribly slow. Imagine going to the grocery store to buy something and you're using Bitcoin and you're waiting like forever for you to make your payments. That just won't make any kind of sense. So there are a couple of solutions. One is a wonderful solution that's built on top of Bitcoin, and that's called Lightning. Now, Lightning Network is cool. It's an interesting concept. It came out in January 2016. You can read this white paper. Came up by Joseph Poon and Thaddeus Rija. Hope I said that very well. He talks about the Bitcoins. They talk about the Bitcoin scalability problem, and they go on about stuff. And why is this coming up on my screen? So yeah, it's an interesting concept. But here's a beautiful thing about Lightning. It's a network of micropayment channels that can solve scalability. So with Bitcoin, all the transactions are done on the blockchain or on the Bitcoin blockchain. I can't speak. But with Lightning, it's a concept whereby you can make micropayments. One of the great things about Lightning is that imagine if like you subscribe for different subscription services out there. You got Netflix, you got YouTube, TV, you got so many of these things going on. But think about it this way. Imagine if you're so busy with work and you don't watch your Netflix movies that month. Maybe you just watch one movie, but you have billed every single month, regardless of whether you watch or not. Imagine having a system whereby you only get paid, you only get charged for the movies that you watch. So let's say you watch 30 minutes of a movie, or you just watched one movie the entire month. You won't get paid, you won't get billed $10, $20 for the month because maybe you just watched 5 minutes of a movie and went to bed the entire month. So you can do micro payments through the Lightning, which is insane, and that's a wonderful, noble, great thing about the Lightning platform. Another thing is, imagine if you do your paycheck. Imagine you get paid every single second that you work, or every single hour. I mean, you can't do that now because with traditional monetary systems, how do you translate how long somebody works? But you can do micropayments with Lightning, which is one of the wonderful things about Lightning Network. Now, here's how it works. So this is the concept behind Lightning. It's a solution that's built on top of Bitcoin. The powerful, wonderful thing about it is, imagine think about it this way. If I go to a bar, I like this example I saw on YouTube, and you want to buy a drink. You go to the bar, you buy a drink, and then you buy another drink, and then you go back to the bar, you buy another drink. So every time you do a transaction with Bitcoin, for example, if you're doing those payments with Bitcoin, every single transaction that you do is going to be on the Bitcoin blockchain and broadcast it on the entire network. Lightning is very different. So imagine you get into a bar and you open up a tab with the bartender and say, just give me drinks. So the bartender just opens up a tab for you. You buy all the drinks you want to buy, and at the end of the day, or when the night is over, he says, here are all the drinks that you bought, and then he closes your tab, and then you pay the bartender. That's how the Lightning Network works. It's basically all these transactions are done off-chain. They're not on the Bitcoin blockchain. You only see two transactions. One is the opening transaction, and two is the closing transaction. It's like open up a tab between two people. And so it's a solution on top of Bitcoin, and then you have a tab whereby you have a channel. It opens up a payment channel between two different people. So as opposed to every single transaction getting broadcasted on the chain, it's just you and whoever it is that you open up a channel with, which is a fantastic, phenomenal, wonderful, interesting concept. So it allows you to do micropayments, and it allows those transactions to be done quickly because you're not broadcasting every single transaction on the chain. So that's some arguments with Bitcoin where you have forks and you have concepts like Bitcoin Cash, because they argue that if you increase the block size, you can put more transactions in the block, and on and on and on and on. But I think, in my opinion, this is a great way of solving this scalability problem with Bitcoin, is just by putting all these transactions off chain and then settling them later. The same way you can go to a bar and you can buy stuff. So there's some wonderful people doing some interesting things. One is Lightning Labs. So Lightning Labs, the next generation Lightning-based financial infrastructure, and they are building some interesting things on top of using this technology. So let's just look at one of them or a few of them. I don't support, so I'm not an advocate for Lightning Labs. I'm just using this as an example. So they have a product called Loop Out. So it's for merchants, services, and users who primarily receive funds via Lightning. So if you receive funds on Lightning, Loop Out serves as a bridge, allowing funds to be sent out of the Lightning network to on-chain destinations. So which is great, because the way the Lightning network works, like I mentioned, you're opening up a tab or a channel between two people. So the drawback with Lightning is that each transaction I have to do, or I have to open up multiple channels with multiple people. So I open up a payment channel with this bar, I open up a payment channel with this other person, open up a payment channel. So it's just multiple payment channels, and they're all off-chain. So this helps you to simplify that by some send out Lightning network on-chain destinations like exchange accounts or cold storage systems, whatever that means. Managed capacity of channels can be used indefinitely to receive more funds. Another product called Loop-In enables typical users to refill their Lightning wallets when funds are depleted. So in these cases, users loop funds into Lightning wallets from on-chain sources like your exchange or cold storage. So you open up a channel with somebody else, and when your funds have been depleted, it allows you to go into your exchange or to the cold wallet, and you can fund your Lightning account, or whatever you want to call it. Lightning Network DAO. Anyways, our very own implementation of a Lightning Network node provides superior reliability, interoperability, and security for global scale financial applications. So they're running their own node that allows that's reliable, interoperable, which means it's able to work with other platforms, I guess. I'm killing myself doing all this stuff, but anyway, you get the point. Product is Loop, which is a good one. But let me show you a quick one that's not on Lightning, that's not by Lightning Labs, but this is something that you and I can download, which I also use. It's called the Blue Wallet. This is what I use so far, trying to understand how this concept works. So it allows you to, it's tricky, it's interesting. You can install this on your phone, and then you can open up channels with people, and then you can play around with this, and it just shows you learn a little bit. I'm still messing around with this myself, and how to use the Lightning network by opening up channels with people, and then sending funds to and from people, or whatever that means. Yeah. So, beautiful thing about Lightning is it's a layer on top of Bitcoin. It allows you to do micropayments. It allows us also to do more transactions per second than is allowed by Bitcoin. It's still different smart people out there are still looking for ways to make this work. I think Lightning Labs is doing a good job, and there's so many other people out there that are doing great things on top of it. But I really think that this is something that's going to allow Bitcoin to go mainstream. For now, Bitcoin is held more as an asset where people buy Bitcoin and they hold it, waiting for the price to go up. But different places around the world, like I did a video about how somewhere in El Salvador, where people are actually using Bitcoin and they're making payments without Bitcoin every single day. Some parts of Nigeria where people try and do transactions overseas and buying goods and services where they have high volatility with the currency, and so they do these transactions with Bitcoin. So it's going to become even easier using a platform like Lightning, using the Lightning network. That way you can just open up a tab with somebody in Ivory Coast, open up a tab with somebody in China and say, hey, let's do goods and let's do transact business and do transactions, business transactions for a period of time. We can close our channel, close the tab. All that are right onto the Bitcoin network is the opening transaction and the closing transaction. All the intermediary transactions are completely off-chain, which is great. It allows for more transactions to be done per second. Cool idea. And then at the end of the day, all the transactions are dumped onto the network for just to begin opening and the closing, which I think is just sexy. It's not a new concept. Look at the white paper. I mean, this came out in 2016, but it's something that really is a game changer. And when the whole thing explodes and everybody's like, oh, lightning, it's going to be very exciting to watch. So Bitcoin is slowly having mass adoption, slowly becoming mainstream. And these, in my opinion, are the kinds of concepts or ideas or the applications that are built on top of Bitcoin that are going to help make that work. So that's all I have. Till next time, my wish for you is that you learn more about blockchain technology, because blockchain is changing and will change the world. And in my personal opinion, those that get involved early will greatly impact the future. And if that's you, let's go change the world.